Will, and I'm doing how it's made metal golf clubs explained easier.
Because Sean's creating the LA can't be in the same.
Bubbly ad.
Golfers use different types of clubs for different types of shots. Woods for long-distance shots off a tee, putters to gently roll the ball into the cup.
So this
and irons
is
for everything in between.
a metal golf
That's why in
club,
golf,
which is,
choosing
in
the
this
right
case,
club
an
for your shot
iron.
is a key part of the game strategy. The heads of these golf clubs are made from aerospace-grade stainless steel.
And these are made from aerospace stainless steel. And it begins with a wax replica of the club head, the finished one. And to make the wax pattern, they inject hot wax into a mold. Then they extract the pattern and they snick off that extra wax. Then they use it later. And then they use hot wax as an adhesive to join several patterns to other wax parts for gates and runners. Then this robot dips these patterns into liquid ceramic material 4 times with a shower of silicon sand in between each of the coats. And the ceramic and sand harden, forming shell around the wax pattern. Then the factory melts out the wax. And now the shell is a mold for the cast the club heads. And then it heats, and then a furnace heats these bars, and then another furnace is cooking the molds, and then it burns out any of the remaining wax, and it also fires the ceramic, making it strong enough to withstand molten metal. And the pouring technique is very critical because the metal must flow at a consistent rate to prevent the form of air bubbles. And then after 5 hours, an automatic hammer breaks apart the mold. Then workers saw off the gates and runners, separating the club heads, so it's then the only clubs. And then they grind off the last remnants of the gates and runners. Then they have a turntable run the club heads through a sandblaster, which just gives the metal a particular finish. Then they stick on a metal badge bearing the model name. Then they apply a dot of paint, and the color identifies the angle of the club, and there's 12 different angles. Fun fact. Then they line the neck of a club head with epoxy, I think it is, and then coat the end of the shaft with epoxy and shift it into the head. And then the pneumatic hammer pushes the shaft in as far as it'll go. And the shaft is either made of extruded steel or carbon fiber. Fun fact. Now they work on the shaft. So they cut it to the right length, depending on the model, obviously. Then they put the shaft on a spindle to wrap it, the top exactly 25 centimeters, in double-sided tape to hold the club's grip. Then they lubricate the tape and the inside of the grip before sliding the grip over the shaft. And a laser line helps them align the grip in the right position. And it's critical because the grip is the golfer's guide to the correct hand formations, which is essential to a good swing. Then the computer reads the club head's angle towards the ground. Then it reads the angle of the club head's face. Then the computer tells the technician what adjustments it needs to make. And once he's made the adjustments, the computer makes sure that it's perfect. Then, last but not least, they weigh it in. So, and this club needs another 8 grams. So they would put on an 18-gram weight made of thermoplastic. But fun fact, it weighs a little less Then 18 grams because they factor the weight of the glue.
It's this type of precision that ensures these golf clubs fit the quality specifications to a T.
And that is how it's made metal golf clubs explained easier. Thank you for watching and bye.